Chris Rock's younger brother is now challenging Will Smith to a boxing match, and this comes after the disastrous incident at the 2022 Oscars where Smith slapped Chris over the G.I. Jane 2 joke that he made about Jada Pinkett Smith. Following what happened that night, the King Richard winner publicly apologized to Chris and then resigned from the Academy. However, in addition to that, the Academy also decided to ban Will from attending the Oscars for 10 years. Plus, according to reports, this has put a number of his movie projects on hold as well. While speaking with TMZ, Chris's younger brother Kenny spoke about how he just signed a deal with celebrity boxing founder Damon Feldman. He's actually scheduled to be in a fight in Florida later this year, and when asked if he was excited for it, Kenny replied, "Most definitely." He was then, of course, dragged into the controversy when the interviewer asked him if there was anyone that he wanted to fight. In response, Kenny said, "Any and everybody. Anybody willing to step up and take on the challenge." And I'm sure that they were hoping he would just automatically say Will Smith, but when he didn't, they just pried a little more. Kenny was then asked if he thinks his brother and Will should get into the ring to settle their dispute, but in response, Kenny said, "No, they shouldn't, but I should get in the ring with Will Smith." He also told them that Chris is doing great after the slap, but was also skeptical of the Academy's ban on Will Smith. He believes it will be lifted after only a few years and that they're just doing this until the uproar is over. While talking with the LA Times, Kenny said that a proper punishment would be Smith having his first ever Oscar taken away. He goes on to say, "It eats at me watching it over and over again because you've seen a loved one being attacked and there's nothing you can do about it. Every time I'm watching the videos, it's like a rendition that just keeps going over and over in my head. My brother was no threat to him and he just had no respect for him at that moment. You just belittled him in front of millions of people that watched the show." Then while speaking about the joke itself, Kenny alleged, "The joke was funny, it wasn't hilarious funny, but I know that if he knew that she had alopecia, he wouldn't make a joke about that, but he didn't know." As for Chris's other brother Tony, he has still yet to accept Will Smith's apology. Recently he even bashed the actor at a comedy show and told the audience, "You gonna hit my mother effing brother because your B gave you a side eye?" And as for Chris Rock, well, he is going to be holding onto his opinions on the matter because he knows just how much money he can make from it. Everyone under the sun has given their reaction to the Oscar slap, but the person everyone wants to hear from is Chris Rock. So far, the only sort of response that he's given was shortly after the incident at his sold-out show in Boston. The 57-year-old comedian performed at the Wilbur Theater and opened by saying to the crowd, "So, how was your weekend?" Clearly alluding to the incident on everyone's mind. After the crowd sat back down, he continued by saying with tears in his eyes, "Let me be all misty and I don't have a bunch to say about that." He then added, "I had written a whole show before this weekend. I'm still processing what happened, so at some point I'll talk about that. It'll be serious, it'll be funny, but right now I'm gonna tell some jokes." He also confirmed that he had not spoken to anyone despite what you may have heard. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this though, because that's all the time we have for today. So stay classy, and I'll see you on the next one.